He was in a play up in college, so that was fun. 8.5 hour drive there, 9.5 hour drive back.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and still in New York. Like New York is a very big state, but it was fun. Did you do anything fun this weekend?
Well, we had the littles, and so we went trick-or-treating on some hiking trails, and then we went trick-or-treating, and we made dirt pudding dessert, and it was all about Halloween. We watched Ghostbusters with them. We sing Ghostbusters all the time in the car. We had watched the movie, so we watched the movie Ghostbusters with them yesterday.
Oh my God, so funny. And I actually love, listen, I'm not big on Halloween, but as you know, my Instagram, I posted some Halloween past photos, costumes. I always love my Marilyn Monroe costume. But I thought that was fun, and I loved seeing everyone post. So I thought it was really a great idea today to talk about how to effectively recycle and reuse social media content, because people get really hung up on, well, can I post that again, or can I post the same thing on different platforms? So I want to talk a little bit about what we do and how it works for me. So what's so bad about reusing or reposting or using the same content on multiple platforms?
Nothing's bad about it. It's being wise. So what you want to think about is, if you have a really small audience on all the platforms, and you know that people aren't necessarily following, the same people aren't following you on every single social platform, it's okay to reuse your content. It's better to reuse your content and post than not post anything at all for weeks and weeks and weeks. So if that's what you're doing, it makes sense. For so like you, we post to your Instagram, and a lot of times if it's LinkedIn appropriate, we share the same content on LinkedIn, and then we'll share the same thing on your Facebook page. Now, your Halloween post for yesterday was multiple images, and I knew that your audience that is really engaged is your Instagram audience. And so it's like, well, we'll just post it there and for fun. We could have posted it on your Facebook page, but I opted not to. So we'll test and just kind of see, and depending. Where you run into challenges is, so you have some promotional items. You give away a lot of free resources to people. So we tend to put them on different platforms at different times, just so that people don't see that same free resource. So it kind of depends on what the product or what the post is about.
Yes.
So anytime it's in a personal post, it's an engagement, it's educational, it's something to inspire or educate your community that's following you, they're not going to care if they see it all in the same thing.
Yeah, they really don't. And also just the recycling, how we will go back to old blog posts, pull out a paragraph, right? So if you guys have videos or have blogs or have posts from a year ago that did really well, you can reuse them again. You can change the picture, reuse the words, use the picture again, change the words, right? There's all
different ways. Mm-hmm. And if you're a designer and you write a blog once a month or once every week or however you run it, you can pull lots of content from that one piece of information. You could make a quick little video clip about it. You could pull out one statement and make a meme with it, with that one statement. Or you can do bullet points, or you can rewrite it at the same thing and change it a little bit and publish it as an article on LinkedIn. So there's lots of ways to recycle that. And then if you have been on the online space for a while, so it's like you've been on it for at least a few years.
Just a few.
We can go back and let those numbers drive some of your decisions. So if you posted something last year and it was like skyrocketed, lots of great engagement, interaction, that analytics shows that was your best post, reuse it.
Yes.
Reuse it just as it was, because it resonated, and let that be the driving force on how you choose to do content. Now, when we're designers, and this is a challenge that we do run in with some of our designers, is that they don't have very many project photos. So if you're using the same project photo, you can use it, repeat it, and put it in different angles and maybe make different graphics with it. That was fine. But if you start to feel like it's getting really stale, then you need to get new images. So that's how I kind of base it with all the clients. When I start to feel like I myself am like, oh, this is kind of stale, it's not as energetic and uplifting, then we change a design, we create something different. But for the most part, like your images, you've got a folder full of pictures of you. And then we pull them according to what we're saying. So we're recycling and reusing those same images, but we're making them show up a little bit different.
Right. And one of the things I have done at times, I don't do it consistently, and I probably should, is imagine if you took one picture of yourself every single day, right? Because pictures of yourself, no matter what you do for a living, whoever's listening, whether you're an interior designer, a coach, a consultant, a service provider, if you took a picture of yourself every single day, 7 days a week, at some point, good, bad, ugly, you're going to have more images of yourself to use in your social media, because occasionally you will get a good shot. It could be a close-up, it could be far away. And when you're looking at your clients' homes, if you're in homes, if you're an interior designer and you took a picture, you can close up. You can go this corner, you can go that corner, you can do the full thing, right? You have to start thinking like, how can I reuse this one picture and make it feel, look different if possible, right? But if you can't, and it got a great engagement a long time ago, you can use it again. You know who I remember the most? Chalene Johnson, this was probably 3 years ago, did this. She literally had one of those flip paper boards on a easel. And she's just like, okay, you write a blog. She goes, that blog then turns into I think she had that blog can turn into, let's say, 5 Facebook posts. Each paragraph becomes a Facebook post that you put a picture with. Then you can turn that into 15 Instagram posts, because you then break it down even further. Then it can turn into Twitter. And she just broke down one blog that could be used for an entire month of content. And I was like, wow. Like,
yes.
Yeah. And that's when we started doing that. We started saying, okay, I do one video, I can turn that video into a blog, or I can turn the blog into a video, like you said in the beginning, and then you can start using that in all the different platforms that are appropriate. What happens for most of us is we think we have to recreate the wheel every single post. And we sit there, what do I post today? Just go back and look at what you've done already and see how you can recycle it.
Definitely recycle, and then be kind to yourself, because every single person I work with, I will pick pictures and then we'll get on a conversation and they'll go, oh, but what about my hair? I didn't like this picture. I didn't like that post. But their audience loved it. And so don't be afraid.
I am the worst offender of that for anyone who's listening. Literally, the post that was 2 days ago, I was like, oh, that was my hair was turning gray. My hair was long. It was post-COVID, hadn't been cut in so long, but I got so many messages about that. Hi, Farah. I had got so many messages about that post, like, oh my God, your hair is beautiful. What a great picture. And I'm thinking, that is the worst picture of me, but thank you. Right. So you're right. We have to be easy on ourselves and remember that we're the hardest people on ourselves.
Right.
No one else is thinking what we're thinking.
Right. And I do have one quick insider social media tip for content reuse. So if you're a designer or a coach or any industry, you have tips you want to share, like quick tips. So sit down on a Sunday and write out 12 quick tips. And then you can recycle them every 3 months. You'll be able to reuse them. And your people that are following, it's going to be like, especially if it's a good tip, like, oh, they needed that reminder. So when we work with a variety of our different clients, we will go ahead and make tip series, are what they're called. So that would be one good thing is content reuse. So
love that tip reuse. I also like when I'm reading a book, I'll interpret certain things. I'll sit and I'll read a chapter and then I'll think, how did I interpret that? And how would I then relay that to people? And in my own words, then I will write out, and that becomes something that I want to do on a live, let's say, or on a video, or my morning Voxer message, right? So your life is what provides you content. So just remember, life provides you content. So Farah has a question. Do we use different pictures from that post, or can we put stock photos if they relate to the content? You want to answer that, or you want me to answer that?
Well,
because I'm going to say either.
that's what I was going to say. Yes, I would say whatever photos you have. I'm going to put one caveat on here. Make sure your stock photos are legal to use.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Google picture of a gray chair on the internet and pull that picture, because chances are it's copyrighted. And when I first started social media management, another gal had Googled green pepper, pulled it off the internet, and she was sued $8,000.
No.
So be very careful where you're using your stock photos.
So we have in our membership site, we have a list of stock photo sites for the people who are members of our membership site. There's stock photo free site. There's a whole PDF with clickable links, so you can go find the photos you need that are legal.
Right.
I never even really encountered that personally. So that is amazing. So
Unsplash is good. Yep, Unsplash is
good.
okay. Yeah. So, but you just don't want to use
just the internet. Just
don't want to just Google for a picture and take it and screenshot it, or because you could get in trouble.
Okay, so I would suggest if you do a blog, it depends on what kind of blog you do, but if you do have only one picture on the blog, you can use that picture the first time, post about your blog. Then when you start breaking down your blog into multiple posts for Facebook or Instagram, then you can find different pictures to put with each of those paragraphs or those sentences or those tips. And you can do that from the stock photo sites that we suggest from our membership site, or Unsplash, or places that you have found yourself. Or it's always better to use your own pictures if you can. But if you can't, don't get uptight. Just get something out there and be consistent.
Correct.
Okay. All right, everyone. That's our Monday marketing tips. You can reuse and recycle your content based on things that did well in the past. And you can break down your existing content into multiple posts. Nobody notices. And you can post to multiple platforms simultaneously, or throughout the week. You can post it on different days. Right now, we are streaming live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and all my Facebook groups, and this is the same content. We're streaming live everywhere because it's valuable content for all those platforms. So ask yourself that question first.
Right.
Is it valuable? If it is, then put it out there. Don't worry about whether people are noticing or not noticing that it's the same, or whether it was reused. You're hitting new people every time.
Correct. Different audience, different platform.
Exactly. All right. All right, everyone, go have a great Monday, and we will see you next week for Marketing Monday. Thanks, Kim.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Bye.